Hello again. Welcome back to the Diversified Diecast. This one, it's like a cliffhanger, right? Square body Chevys. Everybody wants a square body. You get a square body. She gets a square body. They get a square body. These things are near and dear to my heart, obviously, and I know everybody's going to love these. And I've had some of these as long as probably since the summer, 4 or 5 months, right? And then this guy here. This was a trade. This was a trade. These, I know I bought them together, and these I think were a gift from my buddy down south. Yes, name's on the back. So thank you for those, Jose. We're just gonna get right to it. I've been dying to open these things up for months. So this is I think these aren't. I thought these were Miho exclusives, but apparently not. They have a full line of 8 of these, and they spell out diecasts with a Z. So this is number 7 of 8. This is the T-Truck, 73 Chevrolet Cheyenne. This is RZ02 21-99. I didn't realize these things were that far back. So these are from 2021. 5,750 pieces, slightly low production. I couldn't even tell you where these were found. With them being that old, that was before I got into diecast. All right. No chase on this one. Topper shell does not come off. I don't think I have one of these that has a topper on it. See how she rolls. I'm trying to make this quick. I know this takes a lot of time off the video, but I've only got 1 or 2 Squarebody Chevrolets. They have this wheel variant on there. One was a model kit. They have a similar wheel on the Dodge model kits that I got to this. Rolls pretty good. It's got a little lump and bump here and there, but oh, cool. So this engine bay is a little bit different than the rest of them, which is a nice touch. Hood opens real easy, finally. And the topper will probably come off. I'm not going to force it. So, very nice. Oh, we've got a wheel coming off for a tire. Let's see if that helps some. About the same, a little better. All right, I keep all the cubes for now, just because there's going to come a point where they have too many for me to store. I just basically throw them in a big storage tote that I have. And, if I ever had to put a few of them up, I can put them back in the cube shells to protect them. All right. Dia de los Muertos truck. Day of the Dead. This is a 77 1-ton Cheyenne Super 30. Miho exclusive MJS 90 25-27. So 2025 release 27. This one has a non-LS engine in it. It's probably a big block. 454 or potentially a 350 small block. It's got the old toot horn air cleaner on there. This thing is probably going to be candy, man. This thing is really nice inside the package. This is 9,900 pieces, and it has a 900 piece chase. So, oh yeah, fancy. I like these dualies, but the 1 or 2 that I don't have any on the shelf because I only had one prior to this. And I think I explained this on a video previously. I couldn't ever get the bed and the cab to line up on the chassis. I took it apart, and I think these have a plastic base like most of the M2 vehicles. My Blazers don't. They're metal. But yeah, this is a plastic base. I think what happens is you get a lot of flex in those. And the problem you have is the cab and the bed. They'll either crown and sag or they'll crown and lift. And I just never could get it. This one's kind of that way too, but it's not as noticeable as the other one. It was really noticeable on the other one because the way it was a two-tone paint. So there wasn't like a perfect line across the byline. But this one having that graphic with the Day of the Dead skulls on there, it kind of helps hide it. Not as bad, like I said, as the other one, but really super excited about this truck. There's just something about a slam dually. I come from that era. I'm a firm believer in dualies are meant to work, right? And if I was going to own one, that's how I'd have it. But the flip side of that coin is, back in the day growing up as a kid and even a young adult, if you had a slam dually on big wheels, especially on air, you were a baller, man. I mean, that meant that you had enough money to basically do whatever you want to, not ruin a truck. They were still usable, but they were definitely not as usable as they were, in stock height. But they're just really cool. They're just something different. Texas guy, I love trucks. I've always owned trucks, except my Blazer. So it's got Dia de los Muertos on the back of the bed. See how it rolls. Bed cover does come off. Rolls about like their dualies. What's weird is the rear wheels roll perfect, but the front wheels are kind of dragging. So chassis tight. Yeah, it's definitely the front. Still, she's a sweet ride, man. She's showing out. All right. That goes on there like that. I'll put these together later on. I take Scotch tape and tape these together because there's no way for them to be secured. And I'll probably put the screws in a bag just so you don't get all that racket. Sorry about that. But it just kind of helps contain everything and make sure nothing comes open. I'll probably glue that bed cover on too. All right. So the other diecast customs truck, this is also a 5,750 piece unit. No chase on these. Also a 73 Cheyenne 10, but this is I don't know what they call this truck. The bedless truck, the cabin chassis. My initial thought when I first see these trucks, I can remember a time when, not in these, but like the OBS days, when I was a young guy, in the early OBS Fords, let's just say 88 to like 94, right? Believe it or not, I can remember when you'd see a lot of 90 model to probably 92 or 3 Chevrolets, Fords, hell, even Dodge pickups running around. They'd be brand new, right? I mean, paper plates, fresh wash off the lot. You see them running around town, and there'd be no bumper on the back. And I always wondered, like, what's the deal with that? Like, why don't they have a bumper? And I finally asked my dad, I was probably 6 or 7, and I said, Dad, why does that brand new truck and all these other ones we see sometimes, they don't have rear bumpers? He said, well, you know that everything's an option. And he said, believe it or not, if you don't get that back bumper, it'll save you like $250. Now, $250 doesn't sound like much today, but 30 plus years ago, when these trucks were probably in the mid-teens, I would say, low 20s, money was that tight, I guess. And may have been also back in the day whenever a lot of people may have elected that option because roll pins were real popular. And they just said, hey, if there's any way I can just buy a lot of bumper. I don't know. Never really put too much thought into really how much that was true. I'm not saying that it wasn't, but that's just what he told me. And, it had some weight in it. And it kind of made sense. But I'm not real sure why M2 went this route with these. I mean, they're cool. They're different. They got big fat tires in the back, like a 50 series tire. You see the gas tank, because No filler neck sticking up like it's held in the bed. These are the only two I got. I've passed on them for a while, even coming across some other square bodies and trades and whatnot. But I figured, why not get a couple of them? They are kind of cool. They're kind of growing on me. And some people just can't stand them. That they'd rather just trade them off. So that's scoop on these. 8/8 on this one out of the diecast series. Like I said, this one's also a 73. The Diet Coke truck is a 76 GMC Sierra Grande 15. Same thing, half ton. That's a custom. These are Cheyenne, so higher trim level. It's not like it matters because you can't see the options on these models. But Diet Coke was a drink of my choice many, many moons ago before Coke Zero came into play. So I had to get that one for nostalgic purposes. Truck actually rolls pretty good. Maybe that's why everybody gets these things. I mean, it's cool. Same engine as that yellow one there. Hood's open super easy on these, which is really strange because most of the time these square body hoods are kind of a bear to open up. This looks like it has a CTSV motor in it. The way that supercharger looks on top, and I don't know, it looks different than the normal LS motors they put in these trucks. This one has a factory flea bite chip on the paint. Come on, man. Cool truck. I'm very impressed. The roll quality is very nice. Just a good desk ride. I mean, something different compared to all the Blazers and trucks and dualies and haulers. It's neat. Got like centerline studded wheels. Yeah. Okay. Throw these back in there. Trying to make a bunch of racket. Sorry if I am. All right. Diet Coke truck. We'll see if it rolls as good as number 8 on the diecast. This one is variant A32 2329. So this is from 2023, release 29. 9,250 pieces, and this does have a 750 piece chase. I'm not sure if it's gold on these, with the bumpers and the wheels, or if it's red. I haven't seen the chase variant of this truck. I mean, I may have, shopping on Macari or some trades on Facebook, but I don't recall what it looks like. It's a good looking truck. The paint job's nice. That's probably a little bit better looking truck. Only because I like the wheels a little bit better. And that one's obviously a Chevrolet. There's not much difference in the Chevrolet and GMCs and the square bezel round headlights except the grill on the front. You know what? These things got dual tanks. Okay, so that's kind of cool. It shows dual tanks on these, and like that dually, which should have dual tanks, doesn't have it on that chassis. Not as good as that truck, but still rolls pretty good for an M2. I still say the best rolling vehicles out of all the M2s I got, four-wheel drive or truck, is definitely the Dodge pickups. There's just, I don't know, there's something about the way those things are put together. The Broncos are probably a close second, maybe even right there with the Dodge W&D Series trucks. And then the Blazers roll pretty good. Square bodies roll okay, but they're still, I think a lot of them have some compromise rolling because at least the lower profile tired variants like these, I think it helps that M2 puts those risers on the four-wheel drive model variants from all makes and manufacturers to keep the flat spots from getting in the tires and whatnot. It's a good looking truck. Pretty cool. They have the collectors coming down for the exhaust. That's different than all the rest of them. So the chassis on these are metal die cast, and they actually have like a skeleton look. This is really neat. These trucks belong to be loose for sure. All right, let's get some close-ups. We'll show you these chassis on these things, and we'll do a turntable, and we'll knock this one out and go to the next one. All right, die casts. Truck number 7. That one there, 73 Cheyenne 10. See what I'm talking about? It's got that. What's up with the gold valve covers? Like, I see that, I think Oldsmobile Cadillac. Pretty plain base on these. Low back buckets, center console. And look, I'm barely, it stays up. It'll stay cracked, shut, all the way up. Die-cast collectors on the back window. Very nice. Again, roll quality's pretty fair. Not perfect, but not bad for M2 and these squares. All right. Day of the Dead dually. This old girl here. Miho exclusive. Variant 90, 25-27. So 2025, release 27 for this year. Bench seat. Got that on the back of the window. Trying to focus there. Bed cover, obviously. This thing is tapered, so it should go like that. So I'm talking about, you can kind of, it's not perfect, but it's definitely better than the last one I had. So this one will sit up there in style. Like I said, it's the only dually I got from M2. It's a good looking truck, man. See the here. Perfect. Look at the front. Come on. Metallic gold on the back. Miho exclusives on the plate. Roll quality's fair. It's not really that great, but all right. Cab and chassis. So what I was saying about these, same interior as the most of them. Low back buckets, center console. But check this out. The chassis is actually a skeleton chassis like the way it's supposed to be. And they have the exhaust going up there like it's meeting into the collectors on the manifolds of the headers. Dual tanks. I thought that's really cool. Tread pattern on. I need to switch these tires around because they're actually in the wrong direction. See, same motor as the other one. Not bad. All right, cabin chassis Diet Coke GMC. I'm sorry, I didn't give y'all the. I read it off earlier, but it's this one here, RZ02 21-100. So this is a 100 release of 2021. And then we got this old boy here. Like I said, it's a GMC model. Chevrolet did theirs by 10, 20, 30. GMC did theirs by 15, 25, and 35. Those you don't know. And this is 832, 2023, 2023, release 29. Same thing as this other one. I like the contrast on this one. I don't like how they got all the excess glue on there and right here on the riser for the base, but You know, hey, that's just what you get sometimes. Beautiful paint finish, something different. See, that's what I'm used to seeing in these things. Yeah, it's different than these. Nothing on the back window. Tires on this one, a different tread pattern. Those are almost like directionals on that one. Anyway. Okay, we'll do a quick turntable and let y'all get a better look at these things without having my mitts all over them. Then we'll finish this one up. All right, I'm going to rank all 4 of these from 1 to 4. If I had to pick the spot for this one, it's probably going to be number 4. No, you know what? This one will be number 3. I have a lot of partialness to a topper camper on any pickup for a number of reasons. And I'm kind of slowly coming around to yellow. I wouldn't say I have it on a pickup, but I do like this truck over that Diet Coke truck. So this one's going to be number 3 out of the 4 for me. All right, this one's probably going to be number 1, only for the fact that it's a dually, it's slammed, and it's just so pretty. I was having to adjust the lighting because this thing is pretty shiny. It was getting a lot of gloss and flop on the camera lens, so trying to get it all squared up and centered up, but just wouldn't want to cooperate. Beautiful artwork on the hood too. I wasn't really overlooking that, but everywhere you look on this truck, every panel and every view, and profile of it, just it's a work of art. All right, this one's number 2. Something about red. My dad had a red Squarebody. It was let me think on this real quick. It was a step side. I want to say it was a 85 or 6 350 stick. And every time I see one that's kind of lowered, in this color, I just kind of think back to that time period. He didn't have it very long. He had it after he had an 80 or 81 model GMC with a 6-cylinder. But all right, number 4. I really didn't think this thing was ranked that low for me, but it did. Still a very nice truck. I'm not taking anything away from it. Really kind of partial to this paint. That's really kind of what attracted to me when I was doing the trade thing. But something different. I got 2 cabin chassis now. They'll go up on the shelf with the rest of them. Good little mix. Nice variety. So there you have it. Thanks for watching. Appreciate y'all's support. I'm trying to do some more upload shorts and sneak peek to what's coming up for next year. I am looking into some very serious dioramas and some filming equipment so I can get more legit. So better quality camera. I'm going to do a couple different nice custom dioramas, garages, cabins, field scenes, what have you. That way we're not looking at the back of these things, black on black, if you will. So stay tuned for that. These are all the Squarebodies I have right now to open up, but I'll get more. And obviously I'll share that with you guys when I get them. And we're going to keep knocking out films one after the other, one after the other. I'm going to open up everything by the end of 2025. So we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Appreciate your support. Hit a like. That really helps. And we'll see y'all next time. God bless.
Thank you.